Today and only today, we're gonna do some warm tone makeup. I know in my last video, I talked about ditching the warm tones, doing cool tones. We gotta do a little bit of warm tones. I got my warm tone shirt on. Let's do some warm tone makeup. So I'm gonna start just by putting up my bangs with a clip just to get that out of the way. What I like to do for warm tone makeup, especially to start, is I still wanna use some bronzer for my face, just some bronzing drops, just to give my face a little bit of color, just because it's warm toned and I just wanna add a little bit more warmth to my face. When I do cool toned, I kinda like the really pale look of my skin, but when it's warm, I want a little more warmth. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of these Physicians Formula bronzing drops and just warm up my face just a little to give it a little more color. Even already, just adding that just like makes my face look better, I think. Then for foundation, I'm gonna use the Maybelline Super Stay 24 Skin Tint. This is amazing. By the way, this whole video is gonna be drugstore, so that's kind of important too, that we can do a really good warm tone fall look and it's all drugstore. We don't need to use high-end expensive product. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of this. I love this. This really does stay really well. It's a great foundation. It's not just like a skin tint. I think it really is a good foundation, so I use all the time. And we'll just blend this in. By the way, I have the shade 112. So on top of those bronzing drops, I think it looks pretty good. I think it's a pretty good color for me right now. It's so nice and easy to just blend in too. Like you don't need to worry too much about all the crevices and creases that it's going into. It just blends out so nice. Ever since I think about this video and I thought about I Surrender. I have that I Surrender song. I think it's by Celine Dion in my head and it will not get out of my head. I've had it in my head all morning because I'm surrendering to warm tone makeup and the song is just stuck in my head forever. For concealer, I'm going to use my Kiko Milano stick concealer. I really like this. This is really easy and just quick to use. And I just like to kind of draw it on underneath my eyes. I kind of like that it's more of a stick and not cream. Sometimes I like liquid concealer, but sometimes I like this too, where it's just more solid and just kind of a different product to use and really easy to blend in as well. I like that it's a little more dry because my skin is so oily. When I use something a little drier, it does help kind of absorb the oil underneath my eyes. It can collect, so I like that too about it. And even though it's dry, I still want a powder just to make sure. So I'm going to use my Wet n Wild pink powder, just a triangle puff here, and we're just going to set it just a little bit, just for extra staying power because of the oil. Even in the winter and fall, I get oily. I'm always oily. So powder is kind of a must for me. And then I'm just gonna do a little bit on my chin right here where my lip products kind of transfer quite a bit. And then I'll just do a little bit on my head and then the T-zone area. And this sounds really weird, but I'm gonna leave my nose wet. Like I'm gonna leave it wet with the foundation so I can use my Physicians Formula powder and my sponge, and I do this to cover the redness on my nose because nothing else does. No foundation ever covers it. So I always have to kind of get some of this powder and just dab it on right there, and that stays all day. So that's kind of my trick for a red nose. If you have a red nose that you need to cover, Physicians Formula, and this one is the creamy natural shade, but even if you get like translucent, it still covers. But make sure you use a sponge and make sure you put it on when your foundation is kind of wet. Don't put powder over it first, and it will really just absorb this powder and just really set it really nice. And then I even go over it with normal powder sometimes too, just to extra set it. But that step I always want to do first, just to make sure it really adheres to the foundation. And then sometimes I'll just do a little bit of light powder just around it too. Those of you who do not have the red nose problem, you're so lucky. Okay, so we're all set, we're all powdered. I think it looks nice. I really like the tone of my skin, which I like for warm tone makeup. Next, I'm just gonna do my eyebrows, kind of the same thing. I'm using my LA Girl brow pomade and just an angle brush, and I'm just going to start creating that shape like I usually do, and then I'll fill in with my pen. So I've showed this a million times, but I just start kind of on the tail, and I just do it a little bit light. I don't need it too dark, because I'm going to go over it with the pen and kind of create some hairs. Usually a lot of makeup videos I watch too, brows is kind of like the story time of the video. So I'll just tell you, I know so much is going on in the world lately. I actually live extremely close to where the recent murder just happened. I actually went to that school. I went to UVU for my undergrad, and I live very close to it. It's just been overwhelming, extremely sad. It's just been crazy just hearing the news, and I just can't believe it happened there, my school, you know, where I used to go. I'm a therapist now, and I actually have clients that go there, that work there. It's just been overwhelming. So I did take just a little bit of time off from filming because I just mentally I was not there. Trying to get back into it now. It's kind of been a lot. And you just don't think something like that would happen here. And it does, you know, it happens anywhere. Okay, now I'm just gonna fill in with my pen. And it is kind of nice to use this because I don't have to get the shape like exact. I can just kind of fill in the areas with this and sort of make them look a little more even because it's hard getting these perfect. I tell you, it is hard to draw this in every day and get them exactly perfect because I don't have eyebrows really. I just have these tattoos that are also uneven. I think that's good though. I think that looks good enough. For bronzer, I'm just gonna use this NYX butter bronzer, and this is in Filling Butter, so it is kind of the darker one, and I thought I might just want to use this just kind of gently and put a little bit on my cheeks, and then I have a blush I'm going to use as well. But for this, I'm just going to be really light with it and just barely dab just a little bit, and we're just going to add a little bit. And I thought this is kind of like the warmest drugstore bronzer I have. I have so many cool tone ones because I am a cool toned girl, but I like the warm sometimes. I have this one warm tone bronzer. It really just warms up my cheeks really well, and I could even just leave it like this. I don't even feel like I need blush after putting this on because it kind of acts as a bronzer and a blush, but we will do blush too. If you saw my last video for blush, I used one of the new Sephora blushes, the cream like trio. And I think I used, it was like the berry one. And now I have like a peachy one. And so I really wanted to use that for this warm tone video. So we're gonna try that one next because I really love the formula. I love them. I kind of want to get the pink one too. I don't wear a lot of pink, but they're $9 right now and they're so good. So I sort of want to get that one. We're gonna use this peach one and I'll show you what it looks like. It's also so pretty. The formula is so good. And I totally consider it drugstore because it is cheaper than most drugstore blushes at this point. It's $9 for the trio. It's a really good deal. So this is what it looks like. It looks like this orange, and this is, I think the other one didn't have a shade either. I don't think they have shade names, but this is the peach one. Let me just show you what it looks like opened. They are kind of hard to open. So we have the cream little window there. Well, it has a window. The cream, and then we have the two powders. And they are so nice. They are so pretty. I have this brush I got from Dollar Store. I think I used this in my last one too. And it's just kind of a tapered brush. And I'm going to start with this cream side and just barely dab into there. These are look how pigmented. These are very pigmented. And just sort of start on my cheeks and just kind of go up a little bit. Just start a little color there. A little bit goes a really long way. So you just want to be really careful with these. I mean, even right there, I almost got too much. So it'll last you forever. Really good deal for $9, but you just want to kind of be careful how much you're adding. The powders are really pigmented too. I mean, you can just see that, and it's so pretty. I really love these shades on these. Just kind of like makes my skin look warmer, more alive. You just want to really subtly build it. And then the powders, I guess I'll just use the same brush. I didn't get another brush for the powders, and I'm going to just use this darker one right here, and I'm sort of just going to set the cream here over with the powder. They are very much like the same shade, the same color. It's no big deal to kind of set that cream with this powder. It doesn't really change the color at all. You just kind of build that too. I like that it's not like orange, you know, like I really like that they're a little more muted. I love like muted reds, muted peaches like this. I like that it's not just like tangerine orange, but it's more muted and a little more natural looking. And then this lighter one, I'm just going to do just a little bit, and I always forget. I think you do darker up here, lighter down here. So I'll just do a little bit of that right there on the cheek, right under my eye, really, just to add some right there. And that's so pretty too. And that kind of brings it all together. Look how nice that is. They're just so natural looking. Oh, I love these. I really should get that pink one. They're so pretty. At this point, I like to spray my face. I don't like to do it after my eyes are done because I feel like everything just kind of transfers. So this is so dirty, but I use this Mario Badescu spray. and it just feels so nice. It smells good. I love this. I love this for setting my makeup. It just is awesome. And you can use it during the day too when you just like need a refresher. It's so good. I feel like I'm going quick here. Okay, so for eyeshadow, this is kind of the big thing with we're using warm tones. I'm going to use this Morphe Matte Essentials palette. I'm really hoping that this is still available and I can link it. And it has just the best warm tone shades. They're so nice and creamy and pretty and pigmented. They are all matte, which I love. I don't love shimmer, especially warm tone shimmer. I don't know what it is. If I'm doing a warm tone look, I want it matte because I just feel like it looks a little more classy. So I'm just going to start maybe with, I'm kind of thinking of my shirt here. Maybe I'll start with this one right here. This is a really good, just kind of neutral shade to start with. And we're just going to get a little bit and do a little in the crease. I mean, look how pretty and pigmented these are too. They're just really soft, nice eyeshadows. Morphe is not talked about enough, especially lately. They're really good. I really love the brand. I really love their eyeshadows. And because this is so kind of neutral and light, I don't really get too afraid of like really moving it up to my eyebrow. I like to just kind of blend that whole area with it because my eyes are pretty hooded too. So I want to make sure I have some color up there. So that one I'm not afraid to just really lift up there just because it's kind of lighter and so neutral. And we're just going to build that just a little bit more in the crease. Then I'm just going to get a little bit of a smaller brush and we're just going to go a little bit deeper. I'm trying to think. I'm going to see what this one actually might be pretty similar to what we just used, maybe just a little bit deeper. So I'm going to do this one and we're just going to do right in, oh yeah, that's better. That right there in the crease there, and see how it just creates a little more depth right there. I love that. Look how pretty that already is. I'm just going to get a little bit more on the side. Make sure you blend it all the way into the corner there and then out, and then don't go any further than your eyebrow ends. You create a really nice shape with your eyes. And you're just following your eyeball around. Just going around the eyeball like a rainbow. At this point, I might want to use that same shade and do underneath with this same brush, just because it's kind of flat and easy to do that with. So I'm just going to dab into that a little bit more. And we're just going to do a little bit underneath there. I'm pretty sloppy and kind of messy with it too, which I don't mind. I like it kind of blown out and kind of diffused. So I'm okay just kind of being messy with it and I'm not too precise. It's more the depth I'm kind of going for than like the color and like precise lines. I really like the blown out kind of smoky look with warm tones too. I'm not afraid to just kind of be messy with it. And you just want to barely connect it up to where we were working before. Really be careful not to drag it down. I have such a tendency to just drag my eyeshadow low and drag it down there. You really got to be careful not to do that. And just kind of emphasize the crease a little bit. So then on the eyelid, I'm going to do a lighter shade and I can just use the same brush. It works fine. And I think I'm going to do this second one. This has a little bit of a yellow tint to it, which I like for warm tones too. This is such a pretty palette. So I'm just going to do a little bit there on the lid and look how pigmented that is. Look how much that just like pops that lid. So nice. I love it. We'll just do a little bit more this side. Just that pretty light color, that light pop of color just really brings out the eye, and I love it sculpted like that. It just makes it look so pretty and sculpted, and you can really build this too. And I'm just keeping it really low right there on the lid. I'm not even touching the crease at all, really. Just right there on the lid is where we're staying with this one. And just keep building until you feel like you got that pop enough. And I think that's good. I'm going to just deepen the crease just a little bit more now. And I'm thinking maybe I'll use just this other flat brush. So this one's a really flat brush. I'm going to go just a little bit deeper. I'm trying to think of which one to do. Maybe this one down here. So that one looks really good right here on the end. I'm just going to do a little bit in the crease there just to kind of outline that pop of the light color we did. And you can even see just sort of how that creates just a little bit more sculpting right there. You're not too worried about blending it yet. We just want to sort of make that line and that shape. Then we'll get a little bit of a fluffier brush and blend it. But with this flat one, we're just making that line right there. And I really love how it sculpts it like that. How many times in this video am I going to say sculpt? So now we have that depth and it just looks so pretty, but it looks natural. I'm going to do maybe this one right here. I just need a little bit of a color to just sort of blend that just a little bit on here. And The more we do this, the more it just blends all together. Okay, I think that's looking good. I want to line my eyes with something too, and I'm going to use the same flat brush. You can see where my tattooed liner is, and it's kind of a blue-gray at this point. Not cute with this. So I'm going to do one of these really darker ones. I'm thinking, it kind of just depends on how deep I want. I might actually do this one right here. It's not the deep, deep ones we have down here, but it's deep enough. Let's just see what that looks like. I may end up going a little deeper, but we'll see. This one just makes it look just a little bit softer than those deepest ones. You can really add liner like this with just a darker brown. It doesn't have to be black. It doesn't even have to be like the deepest browns in the palette, you know? This is kind of a lighter one here, and it still looks really good to just line the lash line with it. It just looks really soft and a little more natural, which I love, especially for fall and especially for warm tones. So you can see how pretty that made that eyelid look, just lining it right there. I think that looks good. I think we're about done for eyes. We just have mascara left for eyes, and so I have this e.l.f. Lash It Loud mascara. This is in brown, which I absolutely love. I've talked about this a little bit before. Really love the brown shade. I don't love black, the harshness of the black. I think the brown looks really nice. So we're gonna just do the top and the bottom lashes with this. I really like this mascara. I'm actually kind of impressed. I didn't think I would like it as much as I do, but it's really good. I think it really builds really well. Again, love the brown. It stays really well all day. It doesn't really flake or smudge at all. So I'm impressed by it. And just a reminder, if you accidentally get a little smudge somewhere as you're putting mascara on, do not immediately wipe it off. You want to let it sit there just for a minute or two and let it dry. And then it's kind of like if you wipe off something off a chalkboard, it just sweeps right off. But if you try to wipe it off right when it happens and it's wet, it will smear everywhere and make a big mess. So you really got to be patient if that happens. You just got to wait. Just let it sit there for a while till you're all done. And then just use a Q-tip and wipe it off, and it will just immediately come off without any mess. And I am saying that because I have already made 2 little smudges on my eyes. I have one on my eyelid. I think it's dry enough now. But yeah, see, it just wipes right off. If I would have done it right when that happened, it'd be smeared all over. And down here, this might be dry too. Yeah. For lips, what I want to do first, actually, and I think I did something like this in my last video too, is I want to line my lips a little bit with some of this eyeshadow. This is just a really nice trick. You can do this with just a little flat brush. Instead of using lip liner, I want to use eyeshadow just to create some shadow here, and then it will look really nice. And we'll put the lip product on. I'm actually going to lower you just a little bit so you can see that a little bit better. I'm trying to think of what shade to do. I obviously don't want it too dark. Maybe we'll try this one. Maybe we'll try that one right there. And let's just get a little bit on this flat brush. And I'm just going to go right underneath my lips and start creating a little bit of a shadow. That might be a little bit light. I want to do a little bit deeper. Maybe we'll do the next one over. Let's try that one. This one's a little red, but we'll see if it works okay. I think I was talking about in my last video, like I don't like the really harsh, I don't like sharp lines anywhere. I really love just really diffused makeup. So with lip liner, I really like it just kind of blended and kind of blurred and just creating kind of like a shadow there instead of like a line of lip liner. I'm going to do a little bit more, and we'll do up here. I really like how that's looking, and I like that color too. I actually like the kind of more red in it. I'm just going to follow my lips just around. I don't do in here. You don't need to do the corners at all. We want to really emphasize like this circle, this oval right here in the middle. So I'll do a little bit more on this side and then just kind of keep blending it, kind of blur it out a little. And I love just that shadow it gives. It's so pretty and it's just so soft, which I just really enjoy that a lot. For my lips, I got this CoverGirl Clean Fresh Yummy Blur lipstick. This is in the shade, oh my gosh, I'm getting old. I'm like getting to be my mom where I can't read the backs of lipsticks anymore. Blur the lines. I still got it. At least I can still read it, but it is getting harder. What is going on with me? I just turned, how old did I just turn? 37? It's hitting me. Blur the lines, that's what it is. Okay, so this just like this peachy, really pretty soft. I just wanted something kind of soft and light for this look. I thought this was perfect for this. Look how pretty that color is. Oh, I love it. Really goes nice with that eyeshadow I put on there too. Well, here is the finished look. You know, I kind of like talk about how much I don't like warm tones, but then when I do them, I'm just like, oh, that really looks good on my skin. So maybe I just like both. I like cool tones sometimes, but I really like warm tones sometimes too. And I think I just got to do it more, and I think I'll like it more. So I think warm tones are nice as well. But here it looks. I think it looks good. It was like super fast. I feel like I just like flew through that. Let me know what you think about warm tones versus cool tones. Do you kind of like switch it up, or do you just do one or the other? Really depending on how your skin is. The colors you wear especially, both are nice. So I'm eating my words a little bit from the last video. I do like warm tones, and I think this looks really good. So thanks for watching. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to watch for more videos, and I will see you in my next one, and have a great day.